Hey, how's it going YouTube? It's TAG97 again. I hope all of you are doing very well. Today we're going over the ROSSI RS22 rifle. And also don't forget guys, I have an Instagram. Just go down to the description down below. Find the links, click the link that says TAG97. Brings you straight to my IG. Hit that follow button and you get anything that's exclusively happening on the YouTube channel for the future. Or what is personal of mine on IG. You get a daily story every day, and you can see my military past and history. And if you want to personally message me, go ahead as well. I answer most of your questions that I get through my personal messages. Also, I want to thank my viewers, subscribers, and of course my Patreon donors. I love and appreciate you all very, very much, and I appreciate you all subscribing and of course following my Instagram. It is so highly appreciated and puts such a big smile on my face. Really thank you guys. And I want to thank the lender for today's video, my wife yet again this week, donating her rifle to this channel for today's review. So hope you guys enjoy it. Okay, so let's get right into it. Everyone's first rifle or pistol most likely is going to be a 22. Depends if your grandpa, your dad, or your mom or grandma bought you a gun when you're little. My first rifle was a Marlin 22 rifle that hopefully one day I can review when I get it again. But for sure that almost everybody's first firearm that they shot is a 22 of some sort, and I would definitely say that this is a good starter for a young one or someone that never shot a firearm regardless of age. So let's get right into the specifications now. So everyone's favorite subject is the size. So the overall length of this firearm is going to be 36.25 inches. Following that is an 18-inch barrel. And if you think about it, it's not that big, but it's also not that small. It's a good size for practicing for a full-size rifle whenever you convert to that. Okay, so let's get right into it. What's the ammunition to use for this rifle? What magazines does it come with? And what's the best grain to use for most 22s overall rifle configuration? So if you see right here this little nub, that is going to be your mag release. All you do is push up, pull down the magazine, and it's extracted. Your safety is on the trigger guard, and most configurations of 22 rifles, that's where the safety is too. And you also have your charging handle right next to that as well. So most of your business is all going to be configured in here. So there's not a lot of moving around. You have to do all of your essentials, as in chambering around, reloading, and safety, all right here. And of course your trigger, of course, but your booger picker shouldn't be on there until you're ready to shoot the rifle anyway. So let's get the rifle out of the picture real quick, and let's talk about this magazine. So what does this magazine hold, and how many do you get? So it's a 10+1, and one many 10+1, 10 magazine, 1 in a chamber. You only get one of these, unfortunately, but you can buy some 25 round magazines for 22 rifles. Most of it will work for most 22 rifles, but this one's a 25 round magazine, not 30. And the best ammunition to use with this rifle and most 22 rifles is going to be 21, 32, and 40 grain 22 rounds. And the ammunition we use for today, and I'll show you a real picture. So the ammunition we use for today is a 36 grain 1,280 feet per second Winchester 22, and it's a hollow point, by the way. It's good for target practice. Now you're probably saying, whoa, that's not a grain that you said to use, 36. For target practice, it doesn't really matter what grain you're using, especially for a 22. It's a fun gun, let's be honest. But for most accurate precision, it's 21, 32, and 40 grain to use with a 22 rifle. Okay, so let's talk about my favorite subject, the trigger poundage test. Now, most of the time when I talk about the poundage test for the trigger pull, it's always tested with a tool that we have, or what I borrow. So one thing I will say that it is an average weight on the trigger poundage, and also on the website it's roughly close to what it said and what I got on it. So I'm going to let you know that the firearm is clear. I'm going to put on fire. I'm going to rack it and make sure that there's nothing inside the chamber and it's safe and good to go. So it says on the website it's a 5.75 pound trigger pound pull, and I'm going to test it real quick with my finger to show you that it's roughly close to that. So here we go. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, try one time. Release that trigger to reset. There we go. Applying pressure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. But keep in mind, I'm a human being. I'm not a tool item that can check the actual poundage, but the tool that we use to check it out is a trigger poundage test tool. And that's how we mostly get our accuracy with the trigger poundage if it's not given to us already on the specifications on a website. Also, another thing is with this rifle, it's very, very light, and excluding obviously, aftermarket pieces on it, without anything in magazine or even magazine inside the housing or one in the chamber, this is going to weigh in at 4.1 pounds, so it's pretty light. I mean, obviously you can lift it with one hand and probably shoot it with one hand. Extremely light. Not much to it at all with any extra weight. I do know that people like to add on different attachments. I even seen that people replace the entire lower and put like a tactical one that looks like an AK style ROSSI RS22. I don't know why people would do that, but that's up to you as a shooter. If that's what you want to do, that's fine. I don't care. As long as you guys enjoy the firearm that you guys bought and paid for and upgrade to, that's all it should matter. Okay, so let's talk about everyone's least favorite subject, the MSRP or the retail price of this firearm. So I bought mine at Academy Sports and Outdoors, and they charged me roughly $149 for it. Most places will charge you about $120, maybe $130 for it. They're really not expensive. They're really inexpensive, to be honest. Very affordable to most people. A good beginning rifle for sure, and you shouldn't be paying more than $150 for these. If that's the case, then I think you need to look somewhere else, because these are not expensive at all. They're relatively easy to find, and most gun shops that I've seen have carried this rifle, not just in green and black and different colors that I've seen, but my wife wanted a green one for some reason. I don't know why, but it is what it is. Okay, so since I'm done with the educational part of the video or the specifications, let's get into what I personally feel about it. Now, these are my own personal preferences. Doesn't mean the product is bad or good. It's just how I personally feel about it. So number one, the dovetail rail. I don't like dovetail rails. They're old school. They're way, way out of date towards today's standards. Now, don't get me wrong. You can just simply just run a rear sight and a front post sight, or just straight iron sight. Whatever you want to put on it, doesn't matter. I personally like to have some type of optic most of the time with any type of rifle configuration. So I had to put a special rail onto the dovetail to make a Picatinny rail and put that red dot on there. And the last thing is the 10-round magazine. I cannot stand that they only give you one. They should give you at least two or some time away so you can reload. But it is what it is. Get one, just buy another one then. They shouldn't be that much money to begin with. Okay, so now that I'm done with the negativity talking about this rifle, let's talk about the things I actually like about this rifle. So, number one, very, very cheap ammo. I'm talking you could spend 20 bucks on a box of 22 and get over 1,000 rounds or 500 rounds for it. Back in a long time ago, I remember when I was able to buy a box of 22 ammo, 500 rounds for like 12 bucks before the 22 ammo skyrocketed. This is when I was probably, I think, 15, maybe 13. I don't know, but I was a teenager when 22 was extremely cheap, like dirt cheap. But it's still very affordable to this day. Like I said, $22 can get you a box of like 500 rounds, which is extremely affordable. Another thing is, this is a very accurate rifle. For a 22, most 22 rifles anyway are always accurate just because it's such a precision rifle. And I know people are going to be arguing like, what? How's the 22 precision? It really is. And of course, it's very affordable too. So very cost efficient with this rifle besides ammo and just how it performs overall. Very accurate. And I do like the design. I'm not too big into the color, but that was like my wife's choice anyway. I mean, you do have these sling adapters, so you can put a sling on here if that is your choice. I do know people take these out and put a grip and some other fancy stuff on it, or maybe a bipod. Like I said, it's a 22. I wouldn't put too many upgrades on it, but at the end of the day, that's your preference if you want to do that or not. Other than that, I have nothing really more to say to it, but it is good. I know I stress this enough in the video, but it is a really good training tool for young ones or first-time shooters. That is 100% guarantee. I can almost promise that this is a good way to introduce them into firearms. Even if they're scared, they shoot this and it's like shooting a pellet gun almost, or air gun. It's so simple, it's not complex, it's easy, and it's not hard to shoot at all. Okay, so the moment you've been waiting for, the shooting compilation. Now, I will say that it is a very awkward firearm to do any type of tactical training or be in a tactical environment with, but I always do the best, considering the fact that I've used even bolt actions in a tactical environment. It was a little awkward using, but it is what it is. I had fun shooting it. If you did skip to this part, make sure you go back to learn the specifications. If not, no worries. Just make sure you like and subscribe because it's always appreciated. And I really love getting notifications popping up on my phone saying that someone else subscribed. And I love hearing from you guys, trust me. So if you could just do that, it'd be highly appreciated, trust me. Alright, so without further ado, let's get on to that shooting compilation and I hope you enjoy it. So now you see why everybody loves the ROSSI RS22 rifle, chambered and 22 long rifle. Definitely reliable, definitely for sure worth your money, and definitely a good first time shooter or your child to learn how to fire a weapon. Definitely recommended for me and highly accurate and will perform to your expectations. So what I mean by reliable, I shot over 3,000 rounds through this, not in this video obviously, but over time. And without any cleaning to it, just very small lubrication applied to it. It kept going and going and going without really 0 to none malfunctions. And I always clean my rifles to 4 to 5 hours every time I shoot them. So it's not that I don't take care of my rifles, I do. I just want to see if this can handle it, and it did. So definitely TAG97 approved. Other than that, I got nothing more for you. If you did enjoy watching this video, make sure you hit that like button and of course subscribe because it's always appreciated. I love you all. Stay safe, stay healthy, and I'll catch you next time, okay? You take care, and thank you so much for watching.